Where are we right now economically in the world? They're having more and more admit we're really in a depression. What is the banking cartel based in London and New York? What is their goal? What's happening to the euro? What's happening in Greece? What's coming here?
Well, there's a long-term trend which is centered on certain people in the United Kingdom, which is the desire to reduce the human population to what some people say 2 billion people, some say 1. And recently, the 1 is preferred. The policy of the so-called Green Revolution people, that is the anti-technology people, is precisely that. And, for example, the worst case right now happens to be in Germany, where the green change is heading. And it means a disaster for the total population of Germany. It's a weaker in France, where they do have a dependency upon nuclear power. Italy does not yet have nuclear power. They once did, but it was taken away from them. So we're in that kind of situation. But the worst of it is that at this point, with this president, who is nothing but a British puppet, and there's no exaggeration whatsoever. One knows his affinities for the British royal family. And they created him. How do you think all the money was cooked up under very suspicious circumstances to overwhelm the presidential campaign with him, with money behind him? And my view is some of the people using this money should have gone to prison, because the tactics are being used by spreading a fund which is coming largely from drug money and similar kinds of sources, and splitting up into little pieces, and then putting the pieces into the campaign of the presidential candidate. They overwhelmed, with sheer money, overwhelmed the legitimate campaign which was being run for the president. Now, on the basis of his debt to the British, who put him into office inside the United States with this flood of money, he now actually has got control over the presidency. There are people in the United States, particularly older people, who are less political and more, shall we say, institutional, who understand this. And we are prepared to dump this bum from office. Now we have the perfect grounds for doing so. We had a ground under the 25th Amendment on him earlier. It should have been exercised. It was not. Now we've caught him in outrage of an impeachable offense against the United States in a fraudulent policy on warfare in Libya. We have him there. There's some weaklings in the United States who are afraid to close in on this guy. But I know if he is not thrown out of office very soon, and I mean in the weeks immediately ahead, this United States cannot survive the kinds of conditions which we're going into in the month of July. Doesn't mean we're going to collapse in July, but it means we're going through a process which will collapse somewhere along the summertime.
We're already seeing bizarre flash mobs and riots popping up all over the United States right now.
Well, you have two of them. One has like Twitter. Twitter operates a riot-creating operation, just through its normal operations. But behind what Twitter does as just an organization, Twitter as an organization is control. It's control from the top. And you have a generation of youth who have a very poor orientation in life. It wasn't their fault. This is all intentional. The intention is to reduce the world population from over 7 billion people to 1 in the shortest possible time. If you understand that, then you know what's going on. If you don't understand that, you really don't know what's going on. The point is, you're looking at a whole system, and the system was born with the founding of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, the original one, collapsed, but then it was revived as Byzantium. That collapsed. It was revived as a Crusader system. That collapsed. And then after a whole series of wars in Europe, it was established as a new empire with William of Orange, who carried the flag of the new Venetian party from the Netherlands into England and Ireland, and did a lot of killing. But his outcome of his actions with the 7 Years' War, which concluded in 1763, established the British kingdom as an imperial power on the planet, including its control of India, its control over Nova Scotia, Canada, and so forth. So this was the fight we...
All right, stay there, Lyndon LaRouche. Let's come back and finish up with that key area on the other side. Please continue. Lyndon LaRouche is our guest, joining us via video Skype from Germany. You were getting into their plan for world population reduction. I mean, look at California going into total implosion, 30+% unemployment. Even 60 Minutes did an analysis and admitted that last year. Their answer is ram through a 20+% carbon tax on California. I mean, if that isn't proof of the economic genocide, what is, Lyndon LaRouche?
Well, that's what you're getting. You're getting that. There is real genocide, and it's intentional. And the Obama administration is an instrument of that policy of genocide. If you look at the policies which are uttered by the Obama administration itself, as apart from many other sources inside the United States, you find that only Obama and what he represents and his immediate cronies are the people who are behind in the healthcare and other fields to increase the killing rate of what is considered an excessively large U.S. population. So we're not involved in a political quarrel. We're involved in an existential issue. Are we going to be human or are we going to be cannibals? That's what we are. If you go with Obama, you're for the cannibal class. And that's what we're headed for.
Is that why they put him in? Because he's black and they thought that would give him political cover? Because it's admitted that the carbon taxes proposed at Copenhagen would kill at least 1 billion people if they were implemented within 5 years. And that was just the first rollout. And they told the third world, hey, go for this. We're going to tax the West, give it to you. And then they got the treaty, and it was right at double the taxes that the West would pay on people making less than $2 a day. It was a death sentence.